we are from Plutonium. First of all, Assalamualaikum and happy fasting to all the Muslims. Today we are going to discuss about the single layer of printed circuit board. That's the PCB. I think let me see some video that discuss about this.
So there is some process in manufacturing PCB. The process is divided by two, which is fabrication and assembly step. So for the fabrication, can you explain more about the fabrication step in the PCB process?
Okay, the first stage of PCB manufacturing is board fabrication, during which your board layout is created. So this includes etching trays for the inner and surface layer, drilling hole and plating wire applying. Besides that, also do the solder masking and printing the set screen. In order of operation, the fabrication step are: for the first step is imaging. So during this initial step, the board image is created of film directly on the board by the laser. So for film imaging, UV light is used for exposure positive for outer layer and negative for inner layer. So the second step is the inner layer etching. So etching is the process of removing excess copper from the board. Typically used for this process, it uses ammonium-based solution. So for the third step is layout. So layout is mostly used for the multi-layer boards, which the layers are aligned and bound during this step. The process involves heating and pressing of layers together and is usually computer controlled. So for the next step is.
So there is how many steps for the assembly? For the fabrication.
There are 9 steps.
Alright.
Now I continue with the 4th step.
Alright.
So the next step is hole drilling. Bias, mounting and other hole are drilled through the PCB, which usually in panel stack depending on the depth of the drill. Accuracy and clean hole walls are essential and circuited optic provide. So for the 5th step is outer layer etching. For the second step was inner. For this step for the outer layer. So outer layer are pre-plated with a copper filler. So with excess copper etched away, this layer have to be cleaned to remove the resist layer covering the copper. So for the next step is plating. Plating serves two purposes. It creates conductive wall and wires and contribute to the bonding of the layer. So the copper, which the standard conductive material as we know, flow in the drill hole and form the walls. The next step is solder masking. So during this step, a thin coating comprised of polymer and solvent is applied to PCB surface to prevent oxidation. It also provides separation between conductive elements that are close together that etching could take place. So the eighth step is silkscreen application. So this is a printing of the readable identification data such as part number, pin locator or other marking for any function that you want. So this will be printed with an inkjet printer. So for the last step is finishing. So for this final stage of the process, we need to protect the bulk from the environment. Naturally for the pupil area that is easy to oxidize. So these are several variable options for final finishing, and the storage usually depends on the type of board component and the environment where the PCB is used. So for this step, option include electrolytic emissions gold, electroless palladium emissions gold, need free hot air solder level, and emission tin. This is for the finishing layer. So fabrication result is a bare board ready for the mounting of the component. So in some cases like prototyping, you may option to mount the component by yourself or by the machine. So this provides flexibility actually if you anticipate design change. So however, at some point you will most likely need to have the component properly mounted during the PCB assembly process. As the final stage of the PCB manufacturing, assembly is precise and require multiple checks and inspection to ensure board quality. This step include assembly as the next person will be and you will be explained to me.
Alright.
This video is too long lah.
So?
Can we move forward to more on to other video?
No, I want to listen this
No,
girl.
I don't want to.
Let's say.
Explain more about the PCB assembly steps.
Okay, for the assembly there is nine steps in the assembly. So for the first step is solder paste application. During this step, the initial solder layer and solder paste is applied. The second step is surface mount technology, which is an SMT component placement. Here the surface mount component are placed. So the third step is solder reflow. Solder reflow is after component placement, the solder is heated and connection are secure. So for the fourth step is rework. In rework, in any component connection are not secure, it may be necessary to solder them manually. Next step is through-hole component mounting. The through-hole component, if any through component, are mounted at this stage. The next step is wave soldering. It is performed if through-hole component are used. The next step is final soldering. The soldering step is extended to uncover and correct any connection issue that may not have been discovered during the previous inspection. So for the next step is cleaning. In the cleaning process, although optional, board cleaning is highly recommended for PCB to be used in automotive, military and aerospace system. When cleaning is done, a solvent may be water-based is typically used to remove resin and plug contaminant. So the final step is depaneling. In depaneling, the board are then separated for packaging and shipping. So that is the assembly process for the PCB.
I really don't understand about the application of the PCB.
Seriously?
I don't understand.
Actually, I don't understand too.
Yeah,
So let me see the other video that discuss more about this application. So just wait and see.
Yeah.
Alright, today I want to show you about the application of printed circuit board using the mouse. Okay, let's go.
Okay, as you can see, this is mouse using at the top of computer to easy click at we want to click. And then from here we can see this is a single layer printed circuit board, and this is brown color and this is green color. This is a standard color for PCB, which is green, and it is easier to find error if defects on printed circuit board because they found that human eyes are most sensitive to green. And then this is a components attached to the printed circuit board, and this is a most parts in electrical component. Alright, I move to the process selection of the printed circuit board. Okay, based on the scenario, all the design requirement for printed circuit board is observed by according to the function, constraint, objective, and also free variable. The material used to make printed circuit board are very important, and because the price of different material can vary from 10% to 100%, so the price difference of printed circuit board made by different materials can be huge. Okay, from this table, the function is electronic components using conductive features etched from one or more sheet layers of copper laminated. And there are three constraints that we need to discuss: high glass transition temperature, coefficient of thermal expansion, and also water absorption factor. A high glass temperature is very important for the printed circuit board to guard against barrel cracking and pad fracture during soldering operation. And for the coefficient of thermal expansion, this assembly process exposes the printed wiring assembly to more temperature shocks than typical through-hole process. At the same time, the increase in lead density caused the designer to use more and more layers, by making the board more susceptible to the problem concerned with the base materials TCE. And water absorption factor, the amount of water an insulating material may absorb when subject to high relative humidity, expressed as a percent of total weight. And then our objective is to minimize cost of mass production. And this is the next table of our design requirement. We choose 4 material, which is polyamide, polymer polyethylene, glass fiber epoxy, and also carbon fiber reinforced polymer. And then this is the bubble chart of the 4 material, and we use CES EduPack for determine the bubble chart. And for the x-axis we use glass temperature, and for the y-axis we use price, because our objective is to reduce the cost. And next is our ranking. Then we choose 3 material, the top 3 material, which is polyamide, polyethylene, and glass fiber epoxy. As we can see, the most important is cost and also water absorb. And lastly is our ranking and scoring. Here we can see that polymer polyethylene is the best material to make a printed circuit board as a substrate to the copper.
We choose polyethylene terephthalate, which is polymer PET, as a material on a single layer of printed circuit board due to several benefits, which is: first, the cost to manufacture the printed circuit board is cheap. Second, to make single layer of printed circuit board, the glass temperature must be high to create a strong molecule. Third benefit is the water absorption is also low because the polymer PET does not react on water. Fifth, the strength and stiffness of this material is high compared to other material. Next benefit is it is very lightweight and strong too. In addition, it has high-speed, excellent electrical insulating properties. The last benefit is it is recyclable material.
So that's all from us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
Thank you.
And leave a like.